him. So smug.
Quite quiet. Sterling, quite quiet. So, and then the boys kind of came on. I think this whole crowd lifted when Jack Grealish came on. But to be fair, our right hand side managed to keep him quiet.
Look at him.
He didn't do much.
But you know what? Salute to Scotland. They did their thing. Came in as massive, not massive underdogs, but they weren't expected to get a result. England were. And yeah, Scotland did their thing. They held it down. So Scotland go home happy. English fans are probably a bit in the loop. They're not really sure how to feel. Because going into this tournament, a lot of people were saying England were one of the favourites, right? And to me, let me put that on mute. That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. The way I see it is England are like Man United in a sense. Can't beat smaller teams. When it comes to teams that have a low block, don't really come at you, England have it, find it so difficult to break them down. And to be fair, Scotland did have some good chances as well. It was quite 50-50. It was end-to-end stuff. That was the most exciting 0-0 game I've ever seen. It's probably the best 0-0 game I've ever seen. I don't know whether I'm biased because I was invested in it, but boy, oh boy, that was a true derby. When you talk about international derbies, that's right up there. That Brazil, Argentina, France, Italy, Mexico, USA, them sort of matches. England, Scotland, yeah, it's mad. So salute to Scotland. They got players they got quite a few players in the Championship. They got a few players in the Prem. Gilmore made his debut. He's obviously came through in the academy like Mason Mount. So they're playing against each other. You saw them tussling, jockeying against each other, giving it their all. First 20 minutes or so, not holding anything back. You got the likes of McGinn, obviously Grealish plays for Villa as well. Wasn't on for the whole game, but you got McGinn starting. He's such a weird player because he just looks like you should be able to take the ball off him, but you just can't get off him for some reason. He's not that great in that great shape. He's injured a few times, but then you just can't get the ball off him. So I don't know, Scotland put in a warrior performance. That's what I would say. They put in a warrior shift, and I don't think it's a bad thing for England. I think England's, where it's really gonna count is when you play matches against Portugal and France. I believe Portugal are gonna finish second in their groups. I believe England are gonna finish first in this group. So England will face Portugal, and then it'll be England, France in the final. That's what I truly believe that. We'll see anyway, we'll see. But yeah, Kane, again, didn't really play amazing. Hasn't had great service, but this is what I mean. Again, England find it hard to create chances. There's such slow build-up. And because of that, against teams with a low block, you're not going to see the best of England. You're not going to be amazed by the performance. But Kane, the likes of Sterling, they're going to really stand out against the likes of Portugal. Mark my words. Sterling did have a decent game though. He was threatening. A few nutmegs that he gave to Scotland players, to McTominay, I think twice, but no one was on the end of it. Reece James, couple good crosses, but the crosses altogether weren't good enough. Stones had a chance early on where he should have finished it. It was a header from a corner. Should have finished it. Should have. But you can't rest on that. You got more chances in the game, in the whole 90 minutes. You can't just be like, oh, should have scored that goal. So, yeah, what else was there? Towards the end, the ball sort of got stuck. It just got stuck in the middle of the penalty area. Bear man were just scrambling over the ball. It was scrappy. It was like in a secondary school playground or something. When someone puts money for a scramble or something. It was crazy. You don't really expect that in international football, but that happened. And then Grealish came on. To be honest, he dribbled past a few mans, but I think this is his first major international tournament. I think he felt a bit, I don't know. I'm not going to say the occasion got to him, but I feel like there were some passes that were misplaced. It didn't end up in a in like the Scottish possession, but you know, he would like he gave one pass away where he thought one of the substitutes was on the pitch, but England players still got the ball, but it's just like that lapse of concentration. But regardless, like he was exciting. Like the short time he was exciting. Not enough, but you know he didn't have the whole game. That's why he should definitely start the next game. I feel like him. And I gotta see my boy Sancho. Free Sancho, man. Free Sancho. I gotta see my boy Sancho, man. Because I feel like when it comes to unlocking these teams, because Czech Republic will probably be similar, because they're not Croatia. They don't have Modric in midfield. They're gonna be sitting deep. You're gonna need the people that pickpocket and unlock, unlock padlocks and stuff like that. You know, they got the keys, and that's the lights to Sancho. You know, Rashford still looks a bit leggy. I'm glad that Kane was brought off because I feel like England have kind of slid into that sort of mentality in the past where you can't take off your best player. But no, Southgate, I give him credit. Credit where credit's due. Kane wasn't having a good game. Off. Simple as. Not that deep. It's not personal. It's not like, oh, what's going to happen with Kane? No, like, just off. You know, and he wanted to stretch the game a bit more towards the end with Scotland on tired legs. But it didn't work out. It didn't work out. England weren't clinical enough. Didn't create enough chances. But boy, whew, I felt tired from watching that. I was screaming, shouting. It's mad. It's mad. But anyway, yeah, I think it was a good match. England could have done better, but still one more game to go in the group. And yeah, England are through, most likely. But just whether England can get that top spot. So we'll see. So yeah, 0-0, England, Scotland. Scottish fans have to go back up to Scotland on the train, and just leave the London streets clean like it was before they came. I don't know. But anyway, away games, check us out.